laws 1 and 2, please check them out. These 5 laws of money might be the only wisdom you need to get you to financial independence. They could also be the catalyst that helps you get your money in order so that you can take your next steps. They aren't overly complicated, but they don't happen by accident. In fact, they take some intentional action. Today's law number 3. One thing you should know is that these laws were first published as the 5 Rules of Gold back in 1926 in a book called The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This week, I'm taking my stab at modernizing and feminizing them about 100 years. You might call it the wealthiest woman in the world. And Law 3 might just be the most important law to bring into the 21st century. Welcome to the Fife Movement. I'm your host, Amanda Neely. This is the only movement that helps our generation create our unique, feminine, and entrepreneurial approach to financial independence. If you were to look for an entrepreneurship coach, would you look for someone who had never started a business other than maybe their coaching business? If you wanted a relationship coach, would you hire someone who's been divorced 10 times? What about a health coach? Would you hire someone who eats only Twinkies and drinks only Mountain Dew Code Red? I hope in all of these cases, your answer was probably not. Yet, there are so many people out there who advise others in things that they've never done or are currently failing at. You know, you have to be careful when you hire for advice in all kinds of realms. But what about your money? Who should you trust to give you advice about money? I mean, think about it. Would you hire a debt counselor who was currently filing bankruptcy? Would you hire an investment advisor who just lost half of their personal net worth in an investment gone wrong? Would you hire a financial planner whose personal finances had no plan and were scattered here, there, and everywhere? Maybe in a rare case, you might. It is good to have someone who can identify with where you've been, because they've been in a similar place. But most likely, you're going to look for someone who's ahead of you, doing something like they've been there, they've done that, they have the t-shirt, and now they're, helping other people through the same journey, right? So this is actually the 3rd law of money. Money sticks to the cautious owner who puts it to work under the advice of others, wise in its handling. Now be sure to note here, the law does not say money sticks to the cautious owner who hands it over to others, wise in its handling. The law is this: money sticks to the cautious advisor who puts it to work under the advice of others, wise in its handling. Personally, I encourage people all the time to put together a team of people who you can go to for financial advice. And even better, if sometimes those team members disagree with each other, because you're going to get a wider perspective, you're going to hear some opposing views, and you're going to be able to choose what's right for you. In my humble opinion, the only thing that's the worst thing you can do with your money is to hand your money over and say, invest this for me. Haven't there been research studies to show that monkeys do better at picking stocks by throwing darts than investment advisors by making their educated guesses? And in case you're wondering, yes, there's a research study along those lines. You can Google it, I'm sure, and find it. But this doesn't mean that you have to learn all about how the stock market works and become an investment guru yourself. In some ways, you just have to know enough to be dangerous. And law number 4 is going to share with you what I think is the number one thing to remember when you're choosing where to put your money to work. But for now, I want you to think about, who are you getting financial advice from? Who's on your team? Who cares about you, knows enough about your situation, where you've been, where you're going, where you currently are? Who are you letting into that in order to help you make some wise decisions for yourself? Who are you trusting in that regard? And sometimes it can be really hard to trust a friend or a family member. Sometimes it can be really hard to trust a total stranger, right? Everybody's got their trust issues, including myself. But what if you found some people that, and like real people who you could really talk to, share openly and honestly about what you're going through, what are your goals and dreams, what are your concerns, where's your money at now, and they talked with you, walked alongside you, helped you make improvements to get to a better place? What if you did that? What would that look like? And who would you trust to do that with? My biggest thing to say is, who is where I want to be? Who is doing the things I would love my money to be doing for me? And how can I connect with them to learn more? And if at all possible, I would love for you to consider me part of your team. And I would love, these episodes stay really high level, nothing specific to you, right? Helps you start thinking about things. But I would love to help you implement, help you figure out what to do. And so, like, no pressure, but if I can ever be of help, if you want someone like me on your team, I would consider it an honor and a privilege to do that. For now, thanks for joining me and connecting with the Fife Movement. As you go about your day today, remember, wealth is coming your way. Your quest is to prepare for using it well. For more tips on how to prepare, be sure to subscribe. And to connect with the Fife Movement, visit fifemovement.com. I've also got a gift for you there where I tell you all the things that I would tell you if we had an afternoon to grab a cup of coffee together and me just to do a download of the things that I think are the most important things for us to learn and to implement in our journeys. And if this episode has been helpful to you, please pay the gift forward by sharing this content with a friend. My gratitude in advance. To help this video be seen by more people, please hit the like button, and we invite your feedback in the comments as well.